Looks like it's beautiful out there, though.
It's nice. Yeah, it's sunny and warm, but not too hot.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's good. Hanging out
Good.
on the front porch office as per usual.
Yes, yes, yes. I haven't done the slide for today, so excuse me
You hustle?
while I hustle a little and you tell me something about your weekend.
Oh, part of my weekend was spent planning my little backpacking trip next weekend
Oh, nice. I
with a
saw
friend.
you
With a
posted
friend and
something
a
about a
cousin.
tent, maybe? Was it a
Yes,
tent?
yes,
Yeah.
it's a new lighter weight 3-person tent, part of a series of early 50th birthday gifts that I've been making for
Oh,
myself as I upgrade my backpacking gear from what was state of the art in the late 90s to what is state of the art now, which is,
much, much,
considerably
much, much
lighter.
better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm sure people look back and think like, wait, how did we camp with, or like, how did we carry all that stuff? Like you think about those canvas tents,
I know, right?
the ones that we
Yeah,
used to put up in Girl Scouts that would like take
yeah,
up the whole back of the car.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
don't know. I
fun.
mean,
So where are you backpacking?
oh, it's just like a 1 or 2 nighter, just right near here, Mount Hood National Forest area. Just a little
Nice.
bit up to some altitude, but not too high.
Do you have to get a reservation for that kind of thing?
No, because if you just hike off, like this is truly backpacking, right? So
Okay, yeah. So
you
you
just have
don't have
to
a
you just have to sign in at the trailhead, and then you're on
right,
your own.
right. Oh, that's cool. So who are you going with?
Our friend Green and his cousin Liz, who's coming to visit, I think from Virginia. Yeah, she's coming out.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's coming out from Virginia to hike in Mount Hood.
pretty
That's kind
much.
of cute.
Yeah, no, I guess those two are really good friends in addition to being cousins, and so I guess she's going through some challenging personal
Yeah.
times, and so
She
figured,
needs a hike.
come on out, hit nature with
Needs
us.
some time.
That's what she's
Yeah, time
doing.
in the yeah.
Yeah, and so we're
And
having
Steve's going
fun.
with you as well, or
No, he's sitting this one out. He's going to hang out with Freya and recover. He just wrote a big, massive grant proposal, and he's quite looking forward to having some quiet time to just be woodshedding on his base.
Mhm.
We've got 2 more trips planned in August, and so he'll come on at least one of those trips.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, two more in August.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah. Well,
good. Backpacking trips.
yeah, just short, overnighters or 2-nighters where you just yeah. There's just so much scenic beauty here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
Yeah,
should
and
just
so
go for it.
much time away from it. I mean, we haven't done any of that in so long.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, and I mean, the all the organized campgrounds are full because
mm,
that's the first thing people are doing. But if you have
mhm.
a little bit of experience and can hike off into the backcountry, it's
Mhm. Mhm.
it's just nice, you know.
Yeah. So do you leave on Friday or
Mhm.
Saturday?
Yeah, so
Friday.
for Friday, we're actually going to swing by the airport, grab Liz, and then head out to the trailhead.
Oh, cool. Oh, so you'll have all her equipment, or is she gonna pack some
Yeah,
stuff?
so she's bringing some, and then we put some together for her.
Mhm. Mhm. Good.
Yeah, so we're
Oh,
sitting
that
there,
sounds great.
planning meals and figuring out who brings the tequila and who brings the bourbon, important
Yeah, the
questions.
important things. The important things.
Yeah,
Like, what's all the shit in the backpack? Oh, right.
the flask. There's a flask in there,
The
at least one.
flasks. I'm sure those
Yeah,
can go quick.
yeah, yeah. What are you gonna do? It's not like you're schlepping books around. You can't have campfires, so drinking games it is.
Drinking games and a pack of cards or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll bring a pack of cards or maybe
Yeah.
anagrams. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just sort of yeah. It doesn't even have to be very far. I just want to get off the beaten path and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sleep under the
Mm-hmm.
stars.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
was so beneficial when we were out in Idaho. I just need to have
That
more
that
space.
that recharges you, yeah.
Oh
That's one
yeah,
of the things
totally.
that recharges you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, always has.
I
So
feel like it does conceptually for me, but I don't do it nearly enough. Like I'm such a city person. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it's nice. Like it's one of those weird, arbitrary skill sets that I have. Like I know
mhm.
my way around the backcountry, and
Mhm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
we have friends who also enjoy it. I don't think Freya is that into it, although she took note of all my gear and she's like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" It's like, "Well,
Right. Yeah.
come."
Yeah.
No. But she's curious. She's backcountry curious now.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and those kinds of things rub off on kids. It's like often not until years later that you're like, oh, they were paying attention to, whatever it is that their parents did that they didn't seem that interested in, but they're,
Yeah.
soaking it up. Or at
Yeah.
least knowing that they can do that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Like, oh, hey, we can do this.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do some of this with her. I mean, we sort of coerced her into a couple of long road trips this summer, so she's
Mm-hmm.
kind of done with the parental program.
Mm,
But I'm thinking next year they will be
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
family backcountry trip.
Family
Hence
backpacking trip. Yeah.
hence the 3-person lightweight tent.
Right. Right. Oh, that's
Lucky
cool.
Freya.
That's cool.
Yeah, the
Well,
one that
this,
it replaces was a 4-person tent, which again at the time was lightweight, and we have used it going backpacking and split the load between Steve and me, but it's more like 9 pounds, and
mm,
the mosquito mesh is shredded, and we're like, yeah,
mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm,
it's time
mm-hmm.
for a replacement.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I spent the weekend, I rode the train up to like an hour north of New York City, where my friend has started this eco-friendly store. I don't know if I've
Oh,
talked about it before,
no.
but he actually is my colleague. He reports to me currently, and he's worked for Save the Children for I think 17 years. He
A lifer?
started off he's a public health guy, started off doing kind of adolescent sexual health. And he actually founded a lot of our Save the Children's work with what we call very young adolescents. So really getting kids at like the age of 9, 10, 11 to start, thinking about relationships and my changing body and all that stuff. So a lot of that curricula and work was under his leadership. And then a couple of years ago, he moved over and has been leading our child sponsorship programs, which all reports up to me, the technical side. But about a little over, well, a year and a half ago, I think it was maybe even a New Year's resolution. He started a resolution to try to be plastic free. And he's a super extrovert. So he started a Instagram account that was called My Plastic Free Family Feud. And it was all about like, everything that they were fighting over, the chip wrappers and the this and the that and the other things. And he would post the stuff, and he started to get a following. And so then he started to do like kind of product endorsements, like, oh, which plastic free laundry detergent am I going to use? I've tried 3. He was doing all this kind of gimmicky stuff, and started to realize how big a community of people there are out there that are trying to do this stuff. And it's not all commercial. Some of it is like, how do you organize like a trash cleanup on the beach, and how do you find blah blah blah. So before Christmas, he told me, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to start putting together a business plan. I want to have a storefront. He does a lot of work with refugees in the area. And he had this idea through working with refugees, like, oh, the space should provide a space for local craftspeople and artisans. And we were like, you're opening a storefront in the middle of COVID? And he's like, yes, like he had his heart set on it. So he
Wow.
starts doing like Kickstarters and business plans, and he has a board. And he was looking for spaces in his town of Fairfield to open in September. And in like March or maybe even April, a neighboring town, Norwalk, had a contest by some storefront owners that had vacancies, who said,
Yeah.
pitch us your idea and we'll give you 3 months free rent. And then you could decide if you like it. So he pitched an idea and won the free rent starting on June 1st. So then he was like, what? So he like pulled
Wow.
together this store, and it's a big store. I think it's like 2,000 square feet.
Holy shit.
I mean,
Do you
he's
think
like one of these guys
there
that's just like, so the concept is all of this like plastic free, environmentally friendly household and like personal like shampoo and beard oil and stuff like that. That's one category. His mom was like a vintage resale shop person. So he has a lot of her stuff. So he also has like the reuse piece of it. He's got all this like vintage housewares and stuff that makes it look kind of funky, like old typewriters and roller skates, but also things that like people actually would buy, like vintage glassware and stuff. So there's that. And then his goal is to have everything in the store on average sourced from under 50 miles away from the store. So he's gone hyper local. And he's just been working all of these, who's the local coffee roaster, who's the local soap maker, like he started working the farmers markets. So right now, even though he does source some stuff from, probably even internationally, I think he tries to avoid like made in China, but I know he had some products from Portland, for instance, and Brooklyn, but he's averaging 40 miles from the store.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, it is everything you pick up. It's like, oh, this, and it's not just like I thought it was going to be all the like hair care products and stuff like that, like the little people who are just making body butter in their kitchen. But he's sourced so many things. I'm trying to think of other examples. Just small companies that anything that, I'm trying to think of other examples besides beauty products.
Do you have a link to the store?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to see.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
So anyway, let's see. He's big on, he calls himself the eco dude. I know. It's kind of crazy. Where's the store though? I know you can get to the store off of Facebook. Oh no, here it is in our products. Okay. He has eco-friendly pet section. There, it's the ecoevolution.co, and then the collections is his products, and then there's like a my story, and he had things like sage bundles.
I'm kind of shocked how, this is all locally sourced because there are stores like this. We have one, made here in Portland, which is more crafts based, I think.
He definitely, so his craft stuff, so he has jewelry, art, he's got like framed prints, housewares, things like bags and pillow covers and frames, and all of that is Connecticut and New York artists. And then the stuff, it's incredible how much of the stuff is actually produced in
I'm kind of shocked just looking at his and here are all the electronics products, and here it's just wild.
Not everything is
amazing.
Yeah, like the Marley's Monsters, all those like paper towels and stuff, those are from Eugene, Oregon. But then a lot of his stuff, maybe I don't know how he counts what, the 40 miles, but he does keep track of it so that he can brag that on his marketing. So we were doing a lot of signage for, where did this come from? And it came from Wilton, Connecticut, or from, I don't even know all the names of these towns. So we spent, I can actually show you my Facebook post on it. Can I project it? Because Kate doesn't have it either.
You should be able to.
Yep. This is my Facebook post on it. So this is like the front.
Oh, I don't see anything. It's just black.
You don't?
Laurel McLaren has started screen sharing. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. Just took a second. So this is kind of like this vintage washing machine and stuff. He has like all this from a lot of it from his mom's antique store. And these are like those you know, the washing
Yeah.
strips for those are from Canada. But there's the front part of the store. When you walk in, you can see all that
Wow.
vintage stuff.
Yeah. Totally looks like a fun store.
It is so fun. And then, you know, products on the, like all of these cleaning supplies on the middle shelf, those are all from Connecticut.
Wow.
And then
Does he test them all? Like the oven
he
store?
tests a lot of them. Yeah, like of course a lot of like beard stuff.
Got an eco dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then he got, you know, this refill station for soaps and stuff. That I'm pretty sure is local as well. And then he had a local artist make this selfie station.
Nice.
And then this was the nephew of the artist who made the selfie station.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this was a colleague came in to the office. The local coffee roaster, this is Brad,
wow.
made the Eco Dude blend of coffee. So he sells, I don't know
Nice.
how many of these bags of coffee we sold. Like a locally made sage stick, elderberry syrup from Westport, Connecticut.
Good stuff.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Are the sage sticks made by actual Native Americans, or are they cultural?
I don't think so. No, I think they're made probably by some yoga hippie lady.
Hippie chick.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was fun. I mean, I got off the train, went straight to the store. We worked until, I think he tries to close by like 10:30 or 11. The store is kind of in a bar and restaurant area. So I think we left at like, you know, closer to midnight. And then on Saturday, like went in and worked, you know, rearranged things. It was so much fun. I mean, I loved it. I can't stop. I like woke up thinking about the store this morning.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
A good way to spend a weekend.
Yeah, his dad was an entrepreneur. I think his dad and his grandfather were an entrepreneur. So he's got plenty of people around him who know how to do small business stuff. So like he has put together a little board and
yeah,
I know he's getting his first loan and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And that's basically his side hustle.
Well, he was supposed to officially end actually today, but his replacement is another month. So I've kind of said like, just let's keep you on salary. You do what you can. You know, he's worked for Save the Children for 17 years, right? Like just be a little bridge to the new person. You get a salary for another month. That can't hurt. But yeah, he'll wind up in a couple of weeks. But yeah, he's a special guy. Special guy.
17 years. That's like,
yeah, everything like the soundtrack. I mean, just everything you have to think about. I mean, you know, because you're involved with a lot of small business people.
Yeah.
But like, how do you get that feel, right? So you walk in the store and it feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what a good career change, though.
Yeah. So that was my weekend. The other thing I did was go to the art museums in New York, but you can read about that on Instagram if you want.
I will. Were they still pretty empty as New York?
Oh no, they were packed. So I went to see the Alice Neal retrospective was at the Met for like another weekend. And a couple of people had told me like, really go see it. It's such a good retrospective. So I kind of planned this trip thinking, oh, I'll just come down, hop off the train, go to the Met, and then hop back on the train and continue back to DC. So that's basically what I did. But the Alice Neal show was a 45-minute wait to get once you were in the museum was probably, I had time tickets. And there was still a huge line outside the museum. I mean, the Met's huge, right? So it fits a lot of people, but I immediately like marched my way up to the show, and it was like a 45-minute wait to get in the show. And it was packed.
Wow.
Packed.
And was it your impression that it's mostly New Yorkers, or is
No,
it that
tourists,
tourists are back
tourists,
now?
tourists are back. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're back in DC as well. I don't know. New York was good everywhere I went. Um, train, buses, not on the street, but any indoor place, restaurant, like going to get takeout or whatever, everybody was wearing a mask. I think New
Okay.
Yorkers, because they've been through the worst of it, are like,
They're a
put on
little,
the mask.
yeah,
Yeah, they
little
were like, no
concerned.
mincing. Like, if the mask is like down, the museum guard would come over and like, mask up, mask up. And the Amtrak was the same way. They were super strict about the masks on the train.
That's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
That's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird here because we're seeing the numbers go up again, but all the businesses at the moment are saying no masks required, unless you're not fully vaxxed. I'm like, I'm going to be wearing a mask. I don't care what you think about my vaccination profile.
I know in Connecticut, where Brad's store is, Connecticut, I think, is the highest coverage in the nation. It's
Mhm.
it's at like 70% where he lives. But nobody was wearing a mask in that store.
Mhm.
0% of people were wearing masks.
Yeah, well, I think we're kidding ourselves.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, should we get going?
Didn't sleep well last night. Yeah.